I've started a little project called Team 420, which to me is a great way to combine cannabis activism and healthy living, because that's part of what we need to do here, right? Is we need to, portray ourselves and be, healthy, active members of the community. And it's impossible for them to stigmatize us or say that we're somehow some negative part of society if we're out, engaged and having fun. And so right now we have weekly dodgeball games Thursdays at the back lawn of the courthouse, and weekly soccer games Saturdays at a school ground by Hillside and Quadra. We put up our cannabis flags and we're out there smoking pot, but we're also playing sports and having fun and doing sort of normal activities. And I think that Team 420, if it's successful, the first thing that it will do for people is show them how they don't need to be afraid of smoking pot in public, that and that it's not an unhealthy thing to do. We've been really stigmatized as being unhealthy, and certainly the Cheech and Chong image again that we're trying to break a little bit here. Not that we're not all fun, easygoing people, but many of us are hardworking, hard-playing, intense citizens. And so to me, Team 420 is a great place to again have fun, do something healthy, and engage with the community and be seen as being part of the community. In fact, tomorrow we're actually having a barbecue in the back lawn of the courthouse. Again, it's more like a family affair. We're not a bunch of anarchist freaks. We're a community of people. And I think the more events that we can do like that are just kind of like normal, everyday things, the better. If we had all sorts of different community groups that were, say the one thing that Kristen wanted to do last year was like the broom kill. She wanted Team 420 to go kill broom and have picnics. Well, that might not be a Team 420 thing, but if there were groups of cannabis users that were engaged in all sorts of other areas of activity, from bridge clubs to curling clubs to all sorts of different sort of games that we play. We're going to get dragon boat racing going with Gail next year. There's a lot of really normal sort of events that are going on that are good, fun parts of the community that we can be engaged with and represent. And I think that's something that we should be doing, that we need to be doing. There's a lot of different business opportunities as well that are emerging, and I think right now it's the most exciting time and probably the best time to start a cannabis business, which again is activism kind of times 10, right? If you're actually working every day in the cannabis industry. And so it's a very interesting time here in Canada and throughout the world, because for decades now, people like myself and a few others here have laid the groundwork, and we've broken the ice, and now the opportunities for people to move in and do it safely are growing every day. Right now in Vancouver, for example, there's a new medical dispensary opening up within every month or two. I go over there to deliver my paper 4 times a year, and I'm visiting a new club every trip, and I'm falling behind. So I'm not sure how many are over there. In fact, I'm almost convinced that too many will open up, because people see that there's money in selling medical marijuana, and they want to make some profit. And in a funny way, the medical marijuana licenses that are being handed out make it so that people have got legal pot they grew legally for themselves and some extra, so they want to sell that to patients. So clubs have opened. So in an ironic way, Health Canada's own programs are now kind of helping the proliferation of clubs that are all growing their pot legally, at least. And the more clubs that there are around, honestly, the safer any of us are doing it. And there are risks involved, but there's risks involved in any business. You could be driving cab and your life is at risk probably more than running a club. There's costs that can happen. It's not cheap doing these things. But it is an opportunity that people are taking advantage of, and opening up more clubs across the country. Really, there's quite a few in Toronto as well, and so there could be a lot more. But helping out medical dispensaries is easy, and I think important action that people can take, and that could be anything from coming to court cases, and there's court cases and trials happening around Canada right now, and certainly in California there's a whole new wave of things happening down there with clubs being shut down. So attending court, talking about court, writing to papers and stuff when court is going on, those are all really important things. And each club is a little bit different. Some are more open than others. I wish I could figure out more ways to include volunteers in our club. But helping people with medical marijuana is a form of activism that people have certainly embraced. But now we need some, I think, additions, certainly here in Victoria, because as I said, we're in a large but very immature industry here. I'm not sure how many people consume cannabis in British Columbia, but I would assume that it's somewhere near 40% of the adult population, and that would mean certainly hundreds of thousands, if not close to, I think, or more than 1 million people in British Columbia that consume cannabis. Most of us though, or most people, I shouldn't say us, most people are smoking it behind closed doors. They're not really engaged. They don't have vapor lounges to go to, for example. And I really hope that's the next thing to take off in Vancouver, is some more vapor lounges, because there's really only a handful of them, and most of them are right downtown. And it's funny because everybody wants one here, right? Like, obviously we all want a vapor lounge to go and hang out in. I'm like the first guy, right? But I think that won't happen until there's more of them in Vancouver and that they've spread around. And I really hope that that's an area that some entrepreneurs get into, just opening up some nice spaces, get some good ambiance, and get in there. And again, just being a customer in places like this is being an activist, because you're supporting people that are getting in to the industry. The next thing I think we also need here, maybe in Victoria or somewhere on the coast, is a bed and breakfast. We've had some pot-friendly bed and breakfasts in the past, but I really think now is the time for people to start opening up and advertising pot-friendly bed and breakfast. There's hundreds of thousands, if not, what am I saying? There's millions of medical marijuana patients in California, and others that would travel here if they had that kind of possibility. And I'm really convinced that a bed and breakfast would do very well. Another idea would be even just a pot-friendly tour bus, where people were taken on tours every couple of months and just going to the beach or a park or something and charge a few dollars to rent a van, and these sorts of things are on one hand opportunities for people to make a little bit of money, but on the other hand, I think more importantly, the momentum that we build by having more events and more businesses and more people doing these small little things, the more normalized it is. And I think that's really in the long run what we need to do more than anything. And yeah, there's all sorts of things that you can do. I guess another thing that anyone can do, and I just love this picture here, because everyone's probably seen Herb, or most people, our 12-foot tall pot leaf mascot. Well, Herb cost us $1,000 and was not easy to make. But a lot of other costumes and things are not so expensive. And certainly Halloween's a great excuse to dress up in pot-themed costumes. But I would like to think that there's lots of other events and occasions where people can dress up and have some fun. I think the more fun that we have, the better. For all sorts of reasons. It's healthy to smile and laugh and joke. And again, I know we need to bust the Cheech and Chong image that's really kept us down for a long time. But I also think that it's really important